Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who just finished up some delicious bean soda. It's Aaron Newirth.
Hi, how are you?
How is that bean soda?
It's refried.
Refried bean soda?
Yeah, so it's not as cool as I'd like it to be.
That's interesting. Like I feel like with every Mountain Dew flavor, this has to exist somewhere.
Black bean soda probably exists somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But there's probably like a red beans and rice jelly bean.
Oh, it's like the surprise. Listen, we're on to something here. If you're listening to this, we did it first or
What's
second.
what's the thing that had jelly beans that were like meals? I think like Willy Wonka.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
it's like the gum, right? The gum that's like everything.
that sounds horrifying. Would you want to chew a gum that tastes like turkey and mashed potatoes and
I
green
I
beans?
I don't want like that as far as like a little pill that just tastes like a bunch of stuff, but mainly because I don't want to suffer from Veruca Salt syndrome. But also I don't want to have to get juiced. But I do humor the idea of pour a little thing into a bowl, put it in the microwave. 2 seconds later, it's like a fucking turkey. It's like, oh, all right, yeah, I'm into that. Like that just seems useful. You know how much pantry space you're saving?
Seems like something from Alien right there. I feel like it's like our Fifth Element right there.
Oh,
Just
that's
plop
in
it
like
in.
so many sci-fi movies. The old like it's all huge.
Huge steak pops out.
Even like Ray's doing it in Force Awakens in like a more trashy sense because she gets like her thing and it turns into like a biscuit or whatever. It's like a big practical effect.
Oh yeah, when she does that in Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
And everybody in the theater is like, "Oh my god, I've never seen special effects before. What?" And it's like, guys, like it's cool, but let's calm down here.
This moment in Force Awakens changes everything. And then Phil Tippett's like, "What?"
It's like, yeah, practical effects are cool. Did you see the thing? The guy's fucking chest split open. Like what?
Tom Savini's like, "Hey guys."
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of special effects, this movie doesn't have too many of them. It has some great Bunyan work.
it's got some
Oh gosh,
gags. Got some visual gags. But yeah, it's not like Bernie Casey's gonna like throw in a CG flaming punch or something at some point.
the biggest question I have to ask you, you and I are superheroes, right? You and I clean the
Yeah,
streets. We fight Mr. Big. We like legit superheroes.
I'm in the zone on this. Yeah.
We both have bands, right? What song is played for you when you walk around? So I'm hanging out at a bakery and I hear your song coming. Like, oh, here comes Aaron. Like, what song follows you everywhere?
I mean, specifically in the mindset of this film, but even in terms of like just the beat and the rhythm of it anyway, Papa Was a Rolling Stone
Oh,
tends to come to mind right first.
I love it. I would do Land Down Under by Men at Work.
That's very you.
So I was in college and my brother's friend Abe was like, if I ever become a
Not to be confused
millionaire.
with my co-host Abe.
Oh yeah, not Abe, not Aaron and Abe. This is another Abe. This is a Florida Abe. He looked at me. He's like, Mark, when I become a millionaire, I'm gonna pay a band to follow you around and just play Land Down Under all day because that's a song I used to love.
Okay.
And so I was like, yeah, do it. It would be amazing. So whenever you hear me, I come from a Land Down Under, just playing that instrumental. Same guys, same style.
What I like about Papa as a Rolling Stone is that it's a fairly long song. It's like 6 minutes or something like that. There's a lot of different elements in it, so you can play different aspects of it and like get different ideas of like what I'm going through at the time. You know, whether it's like the chorus playing or if it's just like the guitar riffs and it's like, yeah, all right, I'm into this.
Would your band know, or would you have to play through the entire song and wait till you get to that point to go
it
attack?
it definitely depends on the kind of movie we're doing. If it's something that's building up and pacing, that song has a long intro before it gets to anything. So it just wants to be, Shaft style, just walking through and just like a lot of, get some credits on screen or what have you. Apparently, there's credits happening in this scenario.
You're Saturday Night Fevering it pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly that. With less bell bottoms.
See, I'd have the bell bottoms. Land out. That'd be perfect. I love it. So yeah, I never got that band to follow me around though. He never hit the millions, but I'm still holding out. It could happen. No, I gotta say one thing that was awesome about going back through this movie is like it released in 1988. But so I'm 40.
What's the movie called? You haven't said it yet.
I'm gonna get you, Sucka. I'm gonna get you, Sucka.
Okay. I was thinking about like the people that are listening to this, where it's like presumably they've clicked on and they like see what it is, or they've voluntarily decided to download this. But at the same time, it's like if you don't mention it on the show, are they going to be confused? Are the people that do just listen at random and just like let their thing shuffle and like, what's next on the old iTunes machine? I don't know. Let me just press play and see what happens.
Movies, films, and flicks don't care. we just jump into it. But
That's
yeah,
fine. I'm all for that. I just in my head, it's in the back of my mind. It's one less thing in the back of my mind. That means I can focus on things probably focused on this movie.
all right. So I'm gonna get you Sucka, released in 1988, directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans. He was coming off of Hollywood Shuffle. He wrote that, a wonderful movie. Just got a great Criterion release, and I watched it because of you, and I absolutely adored the movie. It just makes me so happy. It's
the thing with that, that's not to stop. I'm sorry to stop you, but like
stop, yeah.
I think Hollywood Shuffle is really great, and he and Robert Townsend directed that film, and they co-wrote it. Keenan's not on that Criterion whatsoever, and what's more, on the commentary, Townsend points out like there's the one sequence where they're in the movie theater. It's what's the segment? I forget what it's called. But it's like
the two guys watching the movies.
The two guys watching movies, and they're like
they sneak in.
Yeah, they sneak in, watch the movie. But like it was supposed to be Keenen in that scene, and Townsend talks about that in the commentary. He's like, he didn't come to rehearsal, so he wasn't going to be in the scene. That's how I did it. And combining that with he's not at all a part of the Criterion, I wonder, it's like, are they still cool with each other? Because I never like see them together again after that movie. I just keep wondering that now. Of like,
yeah,
not necessarily if they had a falling out, but if they're just like they just kind of went their own separate ways. I don't know.
And neither one of them have said anything about it that I've found. I feel like I would have found that by now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could just be speculating. Maybe they just hate that we just did our own
speculate.
things.
Let's speculate right now. What do you think? No, I'm joking.
I mean, I never saw any of the Wayans guest star on Parenthood on the WWW.
Yeah, and we had the Meteor Man Blank Man feud. I know it's Damon Wayans. Not Keenen
but I mean,
Ivory.
it's still
the family.
It's all a family thing. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You're right. There was no crossover. Yeah. So I'm just about to watch Meteor Man again for the summer '93 podcast for sure.
Carnosaur.
Carnosaur is coming. It's one of the episodes, one of the first ones, because it came out before Jurassic Park did, because obviously it needed to really show Jurassic Park, what's up.
Exactly.
Establishing the real status quo for dinosaur movies.
Everyone knows the better genetically modified dinosaur movie released in '93. It was Carnosaur.
It's Big Dino Summer, because there's Carnosaur, there's Jurassic Park, but also Super Mario Bros.
Oh gosh. Oh man. It's oh wow. There's some good dinosaur action in '93. Good and bad.
It certainly has dinosaurs in it. That's for sure.
I automatically give it a B- if there's a dinosaur. So that's my grading scale. So it works like that. No, all right. So like I'm gonna get you Sucka, released in '88. So I'm 40. And so I grew up with like a Wayans brother sister TV show movie coming out. What I felt like was probably every 3 months. I had In Living Color, which I watched religiously. I had Major Pain. You had oh man, I had a list of all the Wayans brothers movies, but you had Major Pain, you had Blank Man, you had Low Down Dirty Shame, you had Bulletproof, The Last Boy Scout. I just felt like there was always Sixth Man, Senseless. There was always Don't Drink Your Juice in the Hood. Wait, don't be a menace to South Central, drinking your juice in the hood. I bought that on Columbia House when I was like 14, probably somewhere. And so like I feel like I grew up watching the Wayans brothers. And this movie since I just didn't watch. I watched since I was younger. My parents weren't too into movies. I just sort of rented what was new at Blockbuster. But I think one day this came on Comedy Central and I caught it pretty early. And I just sat and watched the whole thing. I was like, what is this? I was like, why are people running with TVs? Like, why is that lady taking off her leg? He got a badge for surfing, and just the walking scene. And it was one of those movies where I probably didn't watch it for a few years after that, but it just stuck in my memory. Like this movie kind of got burnt into my being. It just like, and so it's just been on my mind for such a long time. And I'm glad you came here to talk to me about it, because like I just love this movie. I feel like since I watched it sometime in my early teens, I've just adored this movie. And I guess I just like the Wayans a lot. Like they've done a lot more. I think people forget about how prevalent they were in the '90s, early 2000s. Like Scary Movie was huge, and White Chicks and all that was big. So it just brings back good memories watching this movie.
Well, I mean, there's still, yes, the the prevalence of Wayans is perhaps not at an all-time high anymore, but I mean at the same time Marlon still releases stand-up specials and
Yeah.
has TV shows and movies every now and then. Damon's still doing things every occasion, and Damon Wayans Jr. is a fun presence I always like seeing at things. I mean, yeah, the 90s was certainly a Wayans domination by comparison, and I'm younger than you, and I grew up with In Living Color was my main thing. Like I watched In Living Color on I watched the whole Friday or like whatever the Fox back in the 90s when apparently black TV shows were just more of a thing than they became in the 2000s for whatever reason. There was In Living Color, Living
Martin.
Single, Martin, How Y'all Feel, Rock. So it's like, but In Living Color, which was great because it's like In Living Color has so many things that I like about it as far as the comedy, the skits, and whatnot. But it has it had Jim Carrey before when he was James Carrey, before he hit it big. Let alone other ones that I always like seeing, like David Allen Greer, who I don't want to say has got a bum rap because he's had a great career, but it's at the same time it's like this guy's so talented. He's like Shakespearean trained, but he became like such a I'm just a supporting character, comedy guy every now and then. It's like, but he's so wonderful. Same with Tommy Davidson. Regardless, they've had a great career, so they can't complain. I'm not complaining about them. So with that, yes, I agree with you. I've seen all like the various movies they were in or whatnot, and certain ones I grew up with more, like Blank Man, seemed to be on TV a lot. And then at some point, it's before Scary Movie, but I did say I know what you did. I'm gonna get you, Sucka, and it was off to because not off. It was like I didn't get what I was seeing beyond the fact that like, oh, I'm seeing a lot of people I recognize for sure because I hadn't seen a lot of blaxploitation films. That like I didn't really know what that was at the young age that I saw this movie yet. But my mom like explained it to me to a degree as far as like, yeah, it's kind of like a spoof of these old like black movies back in the 70s. I'm like, okay. And like there are gags in it that regardless if you see those movies or not, they work just because it's good. It's not. I have it on like in the background, just as like a visual reference. By the way, so that's why like my eyes are drifting to it. But it's not as like phenomenal as like Airplane is, but it still has a lot of like gag kind of like sense of humor. Like every bit of comedy like comes, everything's a joke. Most of it sticks, and so yeah, like it was fun to take it in, and then over the years as I've like learned more about blaxploitation and learned about Bernie Casey and Isaac Hayes and Jim Brown and the idea and Antonio Fargas and the idea of having them all in like the same movie, it's like this is really clever. This is pretty fun what they're doing here, even with like the types of characters they're playing, where you have Bernie Casey like as a he's a big man and it's like a buck type character. He's a big black guy, and the way they play off of that and subvert things with it. There's just so much clever stuff going on here. It certainly reflects Keenen Ivory Wayans is his sensibilities as a filmmaker, his clear knowledge that he has of just like black history and cinema, and just like what he can do to kind of shake the table a bit as far as showing what other kind of spoofs are out there beyond what the Zuckers were doing or what have you.
Absolutely. And I love that you said it too, because I had no idea about blaxploitation when I watched this, but I just loved watching Kadeem Hardison and Damon Wayans falling downstairs. I loved the repetition of like, how's it going to go to the bathroom with that? Just the people coming out of the hats, the episodic nature of it, and like the mom always beats people up. And I think that the thing about the badges, I think I quoted that my entire life. Just like, yeah, this is for surfing, this is for shorthand. Like it just whenever I see badges now, I'm like, I wonder if that's for surfing. So it's like it works on a couple levels. Like I guess you don't have to be a fan of blaxploitation, but then once you actually get, once you get learn it in the genre, then you're like, oh wow, yeah, like this so exactly like you just said. But I don't know. This is one of those movies where like Eddie Murphy came up with the idea. I was listening to an interview with Keenen Ivory Wayans. Like Eddie Murphy came up with it. He's the one who said like, I'm gonna get you, Sucka. And then also too, I love Bowfinger, like got you, Sucka.
Gotcha,
So
Suckers.
I wonder if that's a homage to that. But like I like that Eddie Murphy did it, and I like that Keenen Ivory Wayans shot it. And watching this movie, it's I think for the budget and the way he shot it, Keenen Ivory Wayans just understood how to get the joke across. It's a lot of two shots. There's not much coverage. He just sort of, I'm gonna put the camera here. We're gonna say some jokes, and it's gonna be fun. Like he kind of understood where to put the camera. He understood when to get the joke, when to edit away. The actors all seemed like they were silly, but not overly silly, and they kind of enjoyed the ride. So it showed like an assured hand by Keenen Ivory Wayans that
I would, yeah,
it didn't get away from him. Like I think it is too bit reliant in some parts, but it's still just a funny movie. It makes me happy.
I think it's better comedically directed than Hollywood Shuffle is. Hollywood Shuffle is very scrappy. I think that's
Whoa.
I think it's
That's
the
a
better
perfect word. That's a perfect word. Yeah.
Because this movie had a bigger budget to work. You know, it's doing a certain thing where Hollywood Shuffle's like shot over a few years and like getting his friends together and just being like, let's do this. And I think the what it's aiming at and the cultural impact of it, I think that makes it the stronger film of the two. But this one certainly, I think it reflects Keenen Ivory Wayans' his ambitions as a filmmaker as far as what he wants to accomplish doing this kind of comedy. Like there's a rhythm to this kind of thing where yes, it's not all working because it's his first movie for one thing, but there's still like I don't want to keep calling them the Zuckers, but I mean that kind of sensibility is there. Like it's and they're the preeminent, kind of gag fest spoof movie directors, so it kind of plays into that
I
pocket.
mean, it has a Soul Train thing that's very similar to like the Bee Gees dance in
Yes.
Airplane. That's probably the one moment that fell a little like, but when I watched it as a kid, I loved it. I'm like, they're just knocking people out.
Yeah.
So it worked. It was fine for me. And also too, like I loved researching this movie because Tom Richmond shot it. Like this is a dude who shot Chopping Mall. He worked on Night of the Comet. Like he worked on Repo Man, which I just recently watched and absolutely love. He House of a Thousand Corpses. Like Ruth E. Carter, 2-time Oscar winner, did the costume design, and then you got Catherine Hardwicke, who of Twilight fame, but she also worked on Posse and Vanilla Sky and Three Kings.
Yeah, she's a ton of like production design credits and everything going back. Yeah,
and like good names worked on this, and you can see it like in the apartment with oh gosh, where's my so in like Jack Spade's mom's apartment, she just has just all the plants, all the green, the couch has the plastic over it, the pillow, like it just looks good. It's just a very, I don't know, it's well dressed, well costumed. I'm not saying why it wouldn't be, but it does have a pretty good pedigree to it and some very talented people working on it, which kind of makes me happy. Like
it's we get a lot of directors that can feel like sitcom directors, if you know what I mean, where like the lighting's super bright or what have you, and like the aesthetic is just it's impersonal for the sake of being broad, but it's like, well, then it just kind of removes any sort of semblance of reality, which is like, well, it's a movie or a comedy. It's like, how much semblance of reality does it need? It's like at the same time, authenticity and lived in natures of things makes a lot of sense. A movie like this, particularly when it comes to, in general, movies that are made by not white people that have this sort of community that they can rely on as far as who they're hiring on, what kinds of things they want to put into films to inform them, it tends to show in the final product. I'm not saying that that's exclusive to, people of color, what have you, but there is something there when it comes to when I watch Wayans Brothers movies or when I watch John Singleton films or Spike Lee movies, there's an extra level of I get what that is, and maybe that's just because it's me, because because I'm a person of color, or I don't know, but the aesthetic, there's something that you can feel there that comes from people looking at a scene and deciding this is what this should look like because it reflects where I'm coming from in some way. Again, that's not entirely exclusive to Black people or to Latinx people or Asian people or what have you. But in terms of a movie like this, there's a way where it can look where it just feels like, oh, we just went to a TV set and just move stuff around. Or you have people like Catherine Hardwicke or Ruthie Carter who have specific, and I understand Catherine Hardwicke's not a Black woman, but like people coming in and making specific choices based on whatever Wayans and whoever else are all combining their efforts on to be like, this is what it should look like to reflect either the blaxploitation era or just what a Black guy's apartment building looks like in New York. Like,
that was a really good point, Aaron. I wish I had more. I was going to jump off of that, but like, no, you absolutely got that.
What goes into that too is when you look at the costs of comedies, like this movie's not expensive. It's not a huge studio movie. You look at comedies in a general sense nowadays, and there's some that cost a shit ton of money. You're like, how did this cost like $90 million? Or others that cost like $30 million. And sometimes you can see why, where it's like, okay, the care went into this. Something like, I don't know, Wedding Crashers. That probably cost a good amount of money. It was a huge hit, so the investment was returned on. And it's also where I could, it's a very, it's set in New England. It's about it's about wealthy white families essentially, with Chris Walken and everything, and the money's there, and you can see they live in a mansion in Maryland. That's right, they're not New England, they're in Maryland because it's crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland. That's the thing. But it looks lived in. It looks like, yes, this is what a wealthy family of this nature would probably dress like, look, what their house would look like, what have you. They have like a Black servant for whatever reason because this movie has ideas. But every now and then, some examples like that aside, some movies that cost an exorbitant amount of money that have which probably went mainly to like the cast or whatever, still
How do
look.
you know?
How do you know? They still look bland. They have no life, no personality to them. There's they walk into rooms that are supposedly their apartments or what have you, and it's just like, oh yeah, there's like a poster and like a lamp, and it's like whatever. Like what is there's nothing, there's not the stuff that makes you like think about it afterwards. You can think about a movie like this, you could probably look at the details in Keenan's room, and just seeing it in the background just calls to mind something, or you just remember it that way.
And just the posters, the flies, it's like swimming around, like during the pimp of the year, you just have like the curtains opening on the guys, like just the random speech, like filling out the crowds. Uh, yeah, no, it's designed really well. And do you think, like you're talking about those movies earlier? Do you think they're just too focused on the joke? Like those movies are like, all right, we just need to, like Mike Myers on So I Married an Axe Murderer was like, no, we're not doing like a dolly shot. You're just gonna have like two-eyed jacks to like tell the jokes, so they're not really worried about the camera placement. But like, I mean, this one's still.
It's funny. It's funny you point out like that. I would say no to that example because I just watched it for that other podcast. It's a '93 movie again,
wow,
and that was directed by Tommy Schlamme. Thomas Schlamme, who's big TV director who directed. He came up with the whole walk and talk thing in West Wing. Like, so he's a director that actually does kind of pay attention to a lot of stuff. But I know the point you're making as far as, yes, there are people that are more dedicated to exactly just the punch of the scene without thinking about the surroundings of the scene, right? And yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, there's movies that stand out because, hey, I remember this. This has a life to it that certain movies don't. Beyond the punchline that you'll forget, until the next punchline.
And this one has stuck with me. I feel like you and I have forgot. How many movies have we forgotten? How many movies did you watch last week that you haven't thought about since you watched them?
Probably a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is about this movie that has just always stuck with me. It's just, I don't know. I guess it just has a good energy. It's in and out. It's fast. Like I also like what Keenen Ivory Wayans is doing. Like I feel like he sort of really goes against that classic stereotype of the military. Like it's like Dwayne Johnson in Walking Tall. He comes back home. He's super tough. Like this one, he's running around like an idiot. When they started shooting and he jumps up in the air and starts screaming, and like Bernie Casey has to save him, and then like I don't know why, but that's such. And then they go upstairs to deal with Damon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison, and they don't kill him. They just let him roll down the stairs. Like it just makes it's just an odd, maybe like the repetition that they have to it, whatever it was, but it's just stuck with me for however long. And like I saw that it was on sale for Kino Lorber, so I picked it up. And yeah, and like I don't know, I feel like whenever I'm out, like with the Cheap Pete stuff with Chris Rock, like with his rib bit, and just like I went back and watched all his In Living Colors. Like it's the same thing every time, but I just love Cheap Pete. Like, did you have the CD when it was released, when he talks about buying a car and he doesn't want an airbag, he just wants like a bag full of Jello?
I've heard what you're talking about. I don't have it, but I know that, and yeah, Living Color fan. I know that that's like just this is just a precursor to that character on the show. So it's like there's, yeah, in a general sense, what you're saying as far as the things that stand out. I mean, yeah, it just hits. For one thing, is it's funny. It's funny. The bottom line, but also when you get underrepresented people in movies like this, it tends to stand out more when it's especially when it's really good. Like it just because you don't see it all the time. You can see you can see I don't know,
Hot Shots Part 2, Naked Gun.
Yeah, you can see Leslie Nielsen in any number of the later spoofs, Wrongfully Accused or Spy Hard, and they kind of intermix with each other. It's like there's a gag in one of those. It's probably from what I couldn't tell you which one, but
Mafia.
So like Mafia, full title, Jane Austen's Mafia! Exclamation point.
Wait, is it really?
Yes.
Oh gosh,
just a stupid title. Jane Austen's Mafia! Exclamation point. That's what kills me.
I do remember Lloyd Bridges and JMR getting some laughs out of me more. And
Lloyd Bridges is very funny. I feel like Leslie Nielsen took over, and like good on him. He's funny, but like I feel like Lloyd Bridges kind of got lost in the way when Leslie Nielsen sort of took the reins on being serious actor that turned comedic.
Oh, man. And also, I do think Spy Hard has something I've quoted a lot when he says, "When I'm done with you, you're gonna look like Swiss cheese." He's like, "That's no Gouda." It's probably one of the worst jokes I've ever heard. Bad. But whenever there's cheese around and something happens, I say that's no Gouda.
It's bad, but it's funny.
It is, right? It like walks that really fun, like that, like on this one when he's like Pepsi double, like it's such a dumb line, but I love it. And
I
like,
haven't seen for whatever reason that calls it by like Back to the Future, where Crispin Glover's like milk, chocolate.
I love that. Oh, what a great line reading. Yeah, that's why you bring Crispin Glover in to get
Alpha
stuff like
milk,
that.
chocolate, and it slides over to him instantly. It's such a goofy scene.
Just love interesting drink orders in general. I guess I'll have more of that.
Spy Hard, by the way, a movie I have not watched in a long time. It's on Canopy, so I will see it eventually because I have it in my queue. But I mean, among the bits that I'm sure are funny in there, a movie that otherwise is probably fine, but like it's Weird Al doing the Thunderball like homage, singing the Spy Hard theme song, and then his head explodes at the end. I saw that in theaters with my dad. That cracked me up. It's just so it's just so wild.
And there's Andy Griffith is the bad guy,
Andy
right?
Griffith's the bad guy. Yeah, he's like he has some line where it's like, "It's me, I'm back, and twice as ugly." I don't know why that's always stuck with me, but that's what he says to like introduce himself.
When it comes to like spoofs, what do you think land? This is a huge question, and
Yeah.
I never send spreadsheets out to anybody or questions in advance. But like when it comes to spoofs, like what hits for you? Like what are some jokes from Airplane, Hot Shots Part 2? What are some of the things that like you go? I go back to like skeet surfing for all. I don't know why from Top Secret, but I always think about skeet surfing. It's such an interesting, weird idea. Or like when the train moves, but it's actually the station that's moving, not the train. Like it's always those bits for me at least where they built the set for a gag, like the underwater fight or the car stripping in this scene, like that for some the running with the
Backwards
TVs.
monocle thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like what sticks with you when it comes
I mean,
to
the answer
spoof
should
films?
it's straightforward, but it's the obvious one. It's the good ones. That's the jokes that I mean, it's the one, and that's why Airplane and Top Secret and some of those, you know, the ones that you would categorize as the best spoof movies. It's the reason they work. It's because the jokes they're going for are not based on, you know, hey, this happened last week in the news, or here's a movie coming out, let's make a fun of it. It's like, I don't know, epic movie or anything that the Seltzer and
Oh,
Friedberg movies did. It's, you know, things that are just funny. Just the concept of let's have a bar brawl that takes place underwater. Like, yes, the thinking about the technical aspects of that joke, the amount of time it would have taken to prep that, the work you'd have to do to get all the shots, have someone like constantly there with a you know, a rebreather so they can like keep staying underwater and doing this, choreographing a scene like that, all for a sequence that lasts like 2 minutes. I love thinking about that, but at the same time, just watching it is funny. Like that's bottom
mhm.
line. Airplane is all of that. Like that's the entire movie. This you know, I'm gonna get you, sucker. It's certainly you know, it's certainly doing kitchen sink type comedy as far as everything's thrown out the wall and you'll see how much sticks. And you know, at its best, that kind of thing works. Anchorman's a great example of that, where it's like there's no purpose of this movie beyond let's just throw everything out there and see what happens. And it happened to be, you know, it very quickly became a cult hit. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it made a decent amount of money, but it, you know, same like Austin Powers, another great example where a movie, it didn't flop like people seem to like to say, but it made a decent amount of money, but it immediately became a hit on home video, and then they made a sequel which made more money in its opening weekend than the first movie did in its entire run. Like, and that's because Myers was just doing like bits, like that it's a good comparison to this movie as far as the kind of thing you're spoofing. Where like, I'm gonna get you, Sucka is blaxploitation. Austin Powers is obviously doing Bond and 60 spies things and like Flint and what have you. And the jokes that work in both of these movies are they specific to the era? Sure, but where do they stem from? It's not about like here's a gag related to specifically Shaft or specifically, you know, You Only Live Twice. It's let's take the subject we're looking at and find an angle on it that's just funny to think about, right? The, you know, what if what this stupid stuff, I'm gonna get you, sucker. What, I don't know, what if
Like Jim Brown has bunions and it gets
yeah,
shot, and you have a giant toe.
exactly. Yeah, you know, you have this giant guy who has to move through life somehow and like has to dodge bullets or what have you. What happens if like one of his bunions gets shot? Like that's silly. It's ridiculous. If in Austin, like what, you know, what if you send a guy in a chair to like a fiery doom by pressing a button? What if the guy didn't die? Like that's he's just like writhing in pain for 5 minutes. Like there's just gags. They're just gag stuff that's so like evergreen compared to so many bad comedies that rely on here's this thing. Isn't it funny that we have that thing from that in this now? Well, that's not a joke. That's just like that's just point at that and laugh at it. And it's like, what?
We're referencing this worse. Like it's less funny than when it was, but it's in our movie, so it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like looks terrible. Like I think all those Freebird Seltzer movies that just destroyed spoof movies that just rely on like, hey, Avatar is funny, right? Here's a person painted blue.
I do respect the hustle because didn't they make money at first? Didn't Date movie was a success?
Date movie's
right?
the reason, yeah, because they advertised as 2 of the 6 guys that wrote Scary Movie, and and the Date movie like makes money because it comes out around Valentine's Day, right? And so it's like okay, fine, and it's the first one of these that's doing it, but it's no better than any other ones. It's awful, also. Like
Yeah.
it's like depressingly awful.
I felt like a piece of myself die while watching it. I really remember that. Like I remember going just like I don't really hate many things or dislike many things, but I was watching it and just going like, no, this is just a scene from like another thing. And then the movie blew up and then you had Spartans. But whatever, I respect the hustle. They made money. Like and then they crashed and burned. And then they wrecked space for a while.
Yeah, respecting the hustle's one thing, and it's not like were they hurting anybody? No. Did they get canceled later on for some reason? No. Like there's nothing seemingly wrong with them as people. They just made product that wasn't good. Like that's the bottom line. I mean, it hurting is such a weird like no, they didn't physically hurt anybody by making movies. At the same time, though, you give a consumer a thing, and for whatever reason they flock to it, and you got more of that thing, and it in turn kind of ruined the thing. I mean, what spoof movies do we get now? Like Edgar Wright kind of does homage things when it came to his Cornetto trilogy, but like do we have spoof like I guess what Adams and the Lonely Island crew, they have Pop Star and
yeah,
MacGruber came out like, but it's few and far between for one thing, but also
what's the last great one? Black Dynamite? Or would you say MacGruber?
Black Dynamite rules, and that's
Yeah.
another great. I like Black Dynamite more.
Man.
I like Black Dynamite more than this movie, and that's not to put this one down. It's just Black Dynamite's so good. It's like Michael J. White.
Before I came in the room,
that killed me. Like that. He's so proud of it. I came in.
Oh man, I like never interrupt me when I'm doing my kung fu and like oh man, Hush Child. Like and also too Abe Lincoln coming out to help him fight Richard Nixon and like Anaconda Malt Liquor when they figured that out on the
see that movie's got jokes and jokes and jokes, but God, let me just look it up. That's
lightning in a bottle.
Surely there's got to be spoof movies that happens to like it seems like Marlon's still doing stuff, and like I like Marlon Wayans, but like those movies don't do it for me. I like him as an actor. I think I like seeing him in stuff like Air, where it's like just be you good at this, just be a character actor.
Requiem for a Dream.
But he has fans though. I'm not gonna respect the hustle, like you said. Like if he's gonna make Haunted House 2 and that 50 Shades of Grey parody he did or whatever, it's like he has fans, so good on him for have these things, and he's producing them on his own, which is also respectable. Like that's
exactly. Yeah, I mean, listen, make the money. Like if people like it, shoot. And I gotta say, like one thing I do love from this movie is and maybe just growing up and watching all these movies, but when Damon Wayans joined the show Lethal Weapon, I'm like, this is amazing. I was so happy. And when Sean William Scott joined it, I was like, this is the greatest day of my life. When I saw Kadeem Hardison and Teenage Bounty Hunters, like I couldn't tell you how happy I was. Like I really, like I was like, oh man, Kadeem Hardison, like that's Kadeem Hardison's funny. Like when you like a lot of these guys, like when they just pop up on screen, like I just love like this whole crew, like David Allen Greer's cameo in this is the newsman. Like he's hilarious. I think he's one of the best yellers. That like underappreciated yeller, like in the Army Now, Jumanji, like his screams are
yes.
There's a scorpion on my back. There's not a scorpion on you. I need to watch In the Army Now. Was that 93?
No, because Son-in-Law is 93.
Oh, was that summer?
It was that. Yeah, it's one of our episodes. Yes, we recorded like most of them at this point. So.
Oh, I'm excited. That's gonna be good. So you're covering funkier movies in 93. You're not
we're covering it's not just the mainstream stuff at night. It's everything that came out in summer of 93.
Oh man, that's gonna be good.
There's some gems and hidden things and really bad stuff that all come, but we have fun talking about it. But that's that show. I'm over here.
We're gonna promote it, but like Tony Cox, when Tony Cox comes out and he gets beat up in this because he beat him up in 5th grade, like just John Witherspoon at the at the funeral when
Yeah.
they all leave and take the flowers. And like, I think one of my favorite lines is when Junebug's mom was like, he ain't shit. He wasn't shit or something like that. Just straight up, like, just, oh man, that's like just one of the funniest lines. Like, just, and then all the chains that were on him, like all the gold chains, like, oh no, not gold chains. You're right though. You know what it was? I think it was just so different for me watching it when I was probably 13, 14, that
Mhm.
it just made me happy. Like, this wasn't something I'd ever seen before. And maybe that's why it stuck with me, because I was so used to, I love Hot Shots Part 2. I love Hot Shots, but this brought something like new. And plus, I already loved all these actors anyway. Like, I think I bought Blank Man on Columbia House too. So it's, and Major Pain. So like this watching these guys, seeing this thing
Major
come
Payne's
out.
funny. I like Major Payne. That's a
Oh
funny.
yeah.
Damon was doing. I like Damon was of the Wayans growing up. Damon was my favorite Wayans like, for a while.
Because he was versatile, right? He could do the Last Boy Scout, but then he could go do what, like Homie the Clown.
It's weird to call, like, I don't just I think he is talented. Calling him versatile, it's like he's doing him just in different like
Different him.
degrees. Yeah, like I think Marlon has shown more range as far as like he can do dramatic stuff or he can do broad comedy. I don't judge to see. I can't think of Damon Wayans doing like serious things beyond like being sad in Last Boy Scout because his girlfriend died. Like I'm trying to think of the real
Yeah.
difficult tasks he's had as an actor.
He never on the rocks it.
Correct. Yes.
He's never a shifty husband who's actually a pretty great husband.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
You know what, my favorite line from that movie, when she's like, Dad, just call me next time you want to hang out. Like, just
Yeah.
that's like the whole crux of the movie. I'm like, Rashida Jones, man, she just she's in that movie, that TV show Silo I've been watching.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It's an Apple Plus.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
it's an
out
Apple.
yet.
Yeah, I haven't. No, it's coming out really soon. I haven't delved into it yet.
My wife read the book, so just seeing her on screen. But I don't know. I know this is weird, but I just love that the early '90s, like like I was working in a theater, I think, when Scary Movie or Scary Movie 2 came out, and I remember how big those were. Like Keenen Ivory Wayans, he created quite an empire, and so I always loved watching those movies get like 300 mil. Like I like, this movie had some success. Like
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's a cult favorite for sure. Yeah,
yeah, and
I mean, it led to bigger things for Keenen. So
yeah, I mean, what led to In Living Color, and then what, Low Down Dirty Shame. I bought that from Columbia House as well.
that's when I used to watch on. I didn't have, but I saw it. Like I rented on VHS, and excuse me, I've saw it a lot on TV. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I have a soft spot for Low Down Dirty Shame, mainly because his name is Shame. The title's ridiculous, and it's supposed to be like semi-serious, like it's trying to be like a balance of things.
Yeah, it didn't quite work, did it? And then he did Glimmer Man, which bummed me
Glimmerman.
out.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. What gets me is he had Most Wanted, with him and John Voight, and I'm gonna describe this plot to you, and you might recognize what this sounds like, where he is like an ex Special Forces guy who comes back and he gets hired on by John Voight to assassinate like the vice president, but someone else was hired to shoot at him instead before they can get the vice president. Then they frame him for being it. It's the exact same plot as Shooter. So every time I think of Shooter, a movie I also don't like, I just think, but this is the same plot as the Keenen Ivory Wayans movie.
Oh wow, I never watched that one. Yeah, Shooter. Everyone loves Shooter, but that didn't work for me too much.
It's not good. It's
no.
I don't care how much Danny Glover and Ned Bellamy you can throw at me. It's still not a good movie.
I do like some Michael Pena though.
Oh, Michael Pena, yeah, and Michael Pena innocent.
Action Pain, yeah. I do like that. I think my favorite line reading though in this movie is from Clarence Williams III, Kalinga, when he's like, yes, he's like, I need you to come out there and help me. He goes, yeah, no, like he just that made me so happy. And then Ariana Richards comes out of Jurassic Park. Like, this is one of her first movies, and then they make that speech about Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
and just his bean soda, and the story about how they went to go take over the government, but then when they went there, they just got jobs instead. Like, that's a I know I'm just reciting parts now. I don't know.
Right, no, but like right there, that gets back to what we were talking about as far as like Clarence Williams III, his character, not in it, like he's only in it doesn't come into like way later as far as his being factored, but like early on, he has presumably this one scene. It's in one set, but the set looks like what you would want this set for this character to be in a broad comedy sense, along with his children who have like braided hair and everything. Like it's just there's so much detail going on there that doesn't need to be a thing necessarily, but it's like no, let's make this as like ridiculous as possible as far as what we're trying to communicate with these people. So it's like that effort that goes a long way as far as making these movies work and be memorable.
And Bean Soda. Just they created a label and put it on there. Catherine, I did not know Catherine Hardwicke was a production designer, but she has quite the filmography.
Oh yeah, she has a long filmography. Yeah, no,
and like when I saw Ruth Carter did the costume design, just and then she moved on to Malcolm X and like some big films, like Oscar winner. Like I don't know, like you said, I know I'm repeating myself, but like I think a lot. I think that's why it stuck with me for this long, and maybe I just wanted to talk about it for once because I don't think I've ever had. This isn't a movie where you just like you can't be out and just look over the person next to you and go, "I'm going to get you, sucker." Like they're going to think you're threatening them. But like if you like, this isn't a film that you can really talk about, right? Like not many people have watched it, but it's not too big. So when I'm glad that I said I wanted to talk about it, you volunteered.
I'd argue that the Wayans in general don't get enough credit or like at least discussion as far as their maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like a lot of books out there that I don't know about, but like I don't think there's enough like I'm not going to go out and say like everything the Wayans have touched has turned into gold, but it's like there's certainly like they're a large family that has had a lot of success in the entertainment world, and that's due to the fact that they hit something that was working well for them. And yes, The Living Color is probably like the best homogenization of everything as far as putting all their efforts into one thing that's really successful beyond Scary Movie, because that's its own thing for other reasons. But like no, I think there's a lot of fascinating things to think about in terms of what Keenen did essentially to get his family into the door and have them populate with various films and projects and what have you to find all kinds of success. So it's starting with something like this in what I assume is the movie films and flicks the Wayne series that will be coming after.
Sure, I'll do it. I'll talk these. I'll do the summer of. I'll do the 90s.
Summer of Wayans.
The summer of Wayans. Why not? I'm not doing Requiem for a Dream though. Don't do that to me. I just had to do a Keith David movie draft, and I went through it again to see his scenes. And I was like, man, this movie.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
What's on the rocks? It.
To go back to the other spoof movies that have come out, I'm like, there's certainly a list. I'm looking at this giant Wikipedia page, and it's like, yeah, there are lots of them, but like last great, that's like I'm out of thinking that just says parody movies. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of like it's like Borat 2 is like that's not really a parody movie, but it's like all right, like
no,
Eurovision Song Contest, like that's not really a parody. It's more of like taking the subject of this thing. So I try to find like the last like good parody film, and like Pop Star feels like it comes closest, even though it's not really it's parodying like a culture in a way, I guess. Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows, but like that's like in its own kind of thing, just taking vampire. I don't know like how you classify this as parody.
No, because this is more of a horror comedy to me, right? Like
it's like but it's taking it has a Nosferatu type character. It had like I get where if you were to tell me this is one of my favorite spoof movies, I wouldn't necessarily think of that in my head, but I wouldn't like shame somebody for saying, "How dare you call that a spoof movie?" I only shame people for the right reasons, Mark. all that shaming I do.
Quite often too. I've been hit with it a couple times today. So
so I guess MacGruber is like,
and that's a good one though. Like the
MacGruber's great. I love MacGruber, but yeah,
I somehow talked Rotten Tomatoes and let me write like a 10-year anniversary piece for that one. And it was fun to explore again. Like that one, like the sex scene with him and Kristen Wiig is, and then the one with Maya Rudolph, like Will Forte goes there to an uncomfortable place sometimes. Like do you think that's why he alienates a lot of people? Like I feel like this movie, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, Hot Shots, Naked Gun, they're very accessible, but like Forte's brand of spoof is so aggressive that it's gonna have to be a cult classic if that
there's
makes sense.
Certainly like a wavelength to be on to, but I don't know, like Last Man on Earth I think was I don't think there's a lack of accessibility. I just think you need to be ready for what they're going for, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I do think like MacGruber is very fun. Like it's very funny. Like it has gags, it has stuff in it it can be excessively silly, but and like to the point, like the throat ripping thing, right, which is hardcore violence, but it's also very funny. Like it's ridiculous. It's really funny.
because it's like, oh, Roadhouse, like you immediately think of that, and so it kind of takes out the violence a little bit. And I also love how they blow up the wrestlers, and it's like, no, 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 and they do that to a
Oh
certain
yeah, they
extent
blow up
in
the whole van of people. Yeah.
this movie too, like when Hammer shoots himself before he
Mm-hmm.
gets down. Oh man, and when Bernie Casey's John Slade blows up before he can get into Mr. Biggs. A lot of big actors have been exploitation villains, but yeah, like they were blowing up their heroes before MacGruber were, which makes me pretty happy. Oh, I think one of my favorite lines though is from Hot Shots. They're like, "You're the best of what's left." That line made me Hot Shots Part 2. That made me very happy.
Hot Shots Part 2, 93.
Oh, are you gonna
we,
cover it?
we talked about it. Yeah.
Oh, see, this is a conversation I wish y'all would have had.
It's
Okay, Aaron.
it's funny that like I like in my mind now there's like 60 movies that I'm like that's definitely from 1993.
You're in a fighting pit,
Uh-huh.
right? You've seen a lot of combat. You've moved. Now you're in Thailand and you're fighting in fighter pits. You have
So
the same setup that Charlotte Topper Harley has in
uh-huh.
there. What kind of candy are you going to put on your fist to cause maximum damage to another fighter's face?
It'd be it'd be like sour Skittles, I think.
Oh,
Because it's like you already got like the Skittles, which pack a punch, but then it's sour, so it has like the little crystals on, like sour crystals on top of it that get in there and scrape.
oh. So caramel and sour Skittles.
Yeah,
You're a wild man, Aaron, and I love it. I
if you hold it,
dedicated.
if you hold a Twix the right way, you could probably knock something out too.
Oh yeah, you can make a knife out of that. I dedicated an entire episode of MFF to that same topic where we pick candies to fight with.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with comedies is, and I knew we were going to come across this, is it just kind of becomes a, hey, the scene is funny in this movie, and this movie doesn't have too much depth to it, but it just plays so fast, like it just goes by in 90 minutes. There's always a bit that I love, like there's some bits I don't really care about, but like just like watching the overall kind of earnestness of it, how much everyone loves it, just makes me happy. And I've been dying to talk about this movie for the longest time, and just there's really not many commentaries out there. I had to struggle to find interviews with him on this. Like it's not really a movie that, like, Kino Lorber released it, but there's no commentaries. I would have loved that. But I mean, still, I think it stands on its own. I love it. And let's do something before we get out of here. I like doing this on MFF. Let's do a spoof parody draft. I don't care what. Well, I'm loose with the rules, so whatever you think.
Okay.
So I'll let you have first pick.
Well, what we doing? I'm kidding.
Date movie.
Um, Spinal Tap.
Does that count? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, why would is it? Yeah, it's a spoof. Why not? I'm gonna do Top Secret.
Airplane.
Oh, I'm done. Hot Shots Part 2.
Spaceballs.
Oh man, I'm really done. All right, I'm gonna get you Sucka since I've already lost.
Man,
Spaceballs is so good. They've gone plaid.
The first Austin Powers. See, like, do we? Does Kung Fu Hustle? Does that count as like a parody? I'm gonna say Kung Fu Hustle.
Not Kung Pao.
No, not Kung Pao. No.
You two go left. I'm going home. It's like one of my favorite lines from a movie. I say that all too. Wait. Oh, I took Top Secret first. I was about to take that again. Yeah. So I will finish it up with Parrot. Not another teen movie. Let's make like a tree and branch. Let's see. Wait, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
There you go.
I'll take that. Oh, I actually like Club. What do you think about Club Dread?
Oh, Club Dread's underrated. That's a fun movie.
You know that put him in jail. That put him in, not jail, director jail. I read Jay Chandrasekhar's book, and he said he got put in director's jail for that movie, which doesn't make sense because it's funny.
Also, they had Beer Fest a couple years later. Like, it wasn't like they just went away.
He said he fought the studios on it, and they like, yeah, he said he was kind of like, he got his wrist slapped for it. But I don't know how you watch it and not love Bill Paxton.
I mean, well, because he's the best thing in it. It has it's a messier movie than like Super Troopers. Super Troopers more like, because Super Troopers is like 90 minutes and tight. Yeah. Club Dread goes on a little longer and it's a little drier. Like, so it's like I can get not everyone being on the same page with what it's doing, because I think there's like an unrated version that's like 2 hours or something like that. Like it.
Oh, that's a lot. I don't think I've ever watched that one. Just give me more Bill Paxton and his Pina Colada Berg.
There's some line that kills me where
Penelope.
there's a lot. Club Dread's funny. Bottom line, there's a lot of funny lines in Club Dread. There's like a scene where like they're all together. They're like trying to figure out like what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We got like this going on, and there's jungle rats. And then the guy stops like, we have jungle rats, and it's.
They have
I
that
haven't watched.
quasi. They have
I
that
haven't watched. I was about to say I haven't watched Quasi yet. I haven't heard the best things, but I don't know. We'll see.
They didn't send any like screeners for it, so
They did not send. They notably did, and I get
Yeah.
a lot of screeners for Hulu stuff. They did not send screeners out for Quasi.
yeah. Normally, I get the screeners for Hulu stuff, and yeah. All right. So last thing, you watch a lot of movies, and I respect your take on movies. So recommend some movies to the Movie Sons of Flakes listeners.
Oh, just like new movies that are.
Yeah. Well, Rye Lane, you recommended to me, and you know, I pretty much love the production design and costume design in that movie. I mean, everything else is great about it, but I love how much work went into. Like, I don't think people appreciate how much work went into the costume design and production design of that movie, or does everyone just love it universally?
I haven't heard that specifically being pointed out, but I do think it's. I think part of why it works is because it is a well-made movie that doesn't that knows how to emphasize what it wants to as far as England or London goes. So.
Yeah, remind me. This is really random, but remind me, like, you know, To All the Boys I Loved Before. Like, I think it has a great color palette.
It's a very poppy movie. That's a big part of it. I think it has a lot of life and directorial like vision in it. So it's
yeah, I dug that. So you recommended that to me, and I liked it. What else? What else you got?
Sisu's coming out this week, and it fucking rules. Like Sisu's so fun. It just Finnish exploitation, great stuff. You know, this gold, this ex-soldier, World War II in Finland. He's looking for gold. He finds a bunch of gold, and he's on his horse on his way back. Encounters some Nazis, and they want to take his gold. And then it becomes just this giant chase movie. It's like World War II meets Mad Max meets John Wick. It's fucking great. Like, there's no reason not to enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I can't wait. Courtney Smalls told me about that, and I think he maybe saw it like Toronto or something. I've been dying to watch it.
It came out, yeah. It was hitting festivals like last year, and it's just now coming out. And I'm like watching it. I'm thinking like between this and John Wick, Tom Cruise better have like tanks and stairs in his movie because he's got some action to look up to measure up to this summer.
How many stairs is Tom Cruise going to fall down in the last Mission Impossible? Do you think?
I don't know, but I have two questions now. One is how many stairs does John Wick fall down? That's a thing you could definitely do for a peak.
Easy.
And then does Tom Cruise ever fall downstairs? That's my next question. Does that ever happen?
He runs up them.
He runs up and downstairs all day. You know, get that man a stairmaster.
He doesn't do much tumbling. He falls on cars.
Yeah, he gets a lot of like boinks. Like falling. The best is of course Mission Impossible 3 because the trailer shot where like the rocket hits the bridge and he gets flung back sideways against the car.
It takes a lot of oneers, not multiplers.
Yeah, or like Ghost Protocol when he hits his head on the thing because he misses the mark on the building when he tries to get back in.
All right,
that movie's that's such a great IMAX movie. Oh my god, watching Ghost Protocol for the first time and being like, he's on the Burj Khalifa, this is amazing. Look how great it is, and the fact that it's all about him screwing up the whole time. Brilliant move.
The glove, and then they tell him how much he's messing up. Like,
yeah,
you can't catch him. Thanks.
Yeah,
fallible Cruise. That's why I like him in that movie.
Oh, that's why Mission Impossible. I mean, the taking the turn that direction for that movie, and even in the follow-ups with Rogue Nation and Fallout, it's not as I don't think it's inherently as comedic as 4 was, but it certainly retains that aspect of it's called Mission Impossible. Make it difficult for him. Like you can't just get in the first try.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's interesting now? It's like he held his breath for 8 minutes, but like, I mean, I guess they do make it difficult for him because of the things floating around.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. The ghost, man, that scene. He's on the World's Tallest Building and he has sticky gloves.
Yeah,
I would retire if I wrote that. I'm just letting you know, I'm out. So we have Sisu.
Evil Dead Rise is super fun. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan, so like what I like about Evil Dead as a franchise is that Sam Raimi, Rob Tappert, and Bruce Campbell are so like devoted to it and like preserving it. So it's like there's a reason there's not any bad Evil Dead movies because they care about it. So if they're going to get the remake going, the first time with Fede Alvarez, it's like let's tap a guy that knows what we want out of this, and they did. They got a movie that's really grisly and hardcore in the way that the first one is going for. When you watch, 1981's Evil Dead now, yes, it's less it's has a low budget, it has a certain kind of acting style, it doesn't like it goes the tone is for horror, but I can understand why you would find humor in it, where the remake is doing what you want. It's being like that movie. It's very hardcore. It's very grisly, like the first movie is. And now Evil Dead Rise, same thing. Lee Cronin. They found another guy who's like, this guy gets it. Let's do this. And let's see. You'll have wild camera angles. We'll have crazy gore. We'll have Deadites making fun of you while they beat you up. Like, great. I'm all about that. That's
Chainsaws, a cool lead. I liked
cool. Yeah,
Lily, whoever.
Sullivan, because
Yeah,
when you say them together, it's fast. It's Lily Sullivan and Alyssa Sutherland. So, they kept saying them together. I'm like, are they sisters in real life? Okay.
yeah. Wait, Lisa Sullivan.
Lisa Sullivan, Alyssa
Yeah,
Sutherland.
she's great. Like I think she's like a really cool lead.
I think they're both good. Like,
yeah, they're really
she's good as like the taking up the hero role, and Sutherland's good at taking up the like evil deadite role. Like they do the job.
You know what's crazy? It took me a few times to like the Evil Dead reboot, remake, whatever, because I didn't expect it. Because I guess I was used to Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness,
Most are, yeah.
and when I watched it, I went, "Holy shit!" Like,
It's
holy shit! Like, and it took me a few times to like it. I really did. I think I had to just wrap my what I was watching. I knew was very well done, and like Jane Levy's great, and Fede Alvarez does a great job. But it took me a while to warm to it. But now, yeah, I like it, and I like Evil
yeah.
Dead Rise a lot.
I do. There's stuff to be humored by in the remake, like, but I know what you mean. It's certainly a grisly movie, and like put the razor blade on her tongue and all that nonsense. It's like, oh my god, this is wild. But yeah, Rise out the gate, I think it's not goofy, but it certainly has more like gags in it than the remake did, and it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Elevated horror.
Literally, yes.
Now, I have one more question for you before we go. Is Shining the most elevated horror film ever because of the location?
The Shining?
Yeah, because it's like a mile above sea level.
I mean, I guess we're going literal, but I have to wonder, like, is where's Devil? Like, is that in a skyscraper?
Yeah, skyscraper in Philly.
In Philly. In Philly, I imagine that's not probably too high above sea level.
Because it's right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's The Shining, the most elevated.
The Rocky Mountain aspect really gives it a leg up in that department.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of this other. I mean, King Kong.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get you, Sucka. I'm keeping this in. Yeah, good movie. Thanks for coming, man. And where can people find you? I know you're super busy. I know you got stuff to do.
I'm in lots of places, but my friend Abe and I, we do co-host a show called Out and Out There and Abe. It is a weekly movie review show where we talk about the weekly releases. We also do a commentary track every month, which, Mark, you've been on many times at this point and always welcome. I write for We Live Entertainment for movie reviews. I write for whysoblue.com for Blu-ray and Criterion reviews. And I'm on Twitter at Aaron's PS4. And of course, on the Brandon Peters show, the summer of '93 is coming very soon, where Brandon Peters, Scott Mendelson, and I will be talking about the every summer release that happened on the week that they came out 30 years ago in 1993. So a lot of fun to be had there as well.
How do you find time? Because you have a social presence. You watch a lot of movies. Do you have a very like a regimented day?
I mean, it's not to the point where like I'm writing it down, but I certainly keep I know what priorities I can put forward as far as what I can get done and what kind of time to write, for one thing, work, do my daily job, then depending on screenings or what have you, know what I need to write when, know what time I have to actually watch stuff, and then balance all that with, hey, I want to talk to my girlfriend for a while, or spend a lot of time with her on the weekends or what have you, do what I can. So it's I like being organized, that's for sure. And as long as I'm organized, I can stay on top of things.
Yeah, I'm not like that, but it's cool. I appreciate you do it. And also, y'all, I don't have time to read many reviews until actually working for Rotten Tomatoes. I've read a lot of reviews, and like there's not many that I like to read. So I like Aaron's though. So if you want to check out Aaron Newer's reviews, I definitely because I feel like you actually look at movies in context and you kind of know what you're reviewing, if that makes sense. And I like that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not gonna say that I'm the best reviewer around, but I'm generally very happy with what I'm able to put out there, and I like to think that, like you, I think we both try to find the, even in things that we don't necessarily like, we try to find the good things in them, or we try to see things optimistically, as far as it's not like they didn't try on this. So let's look at this as if there's something worthwhile out of it and extrapolate from that. And if it doesn't work, we can explain why.
Sorry to put you on the spot there. I hate when
Well,
people
you're
compliment.
fine.
I hate when people compliment my work, and I got to be like, yeah.
I'm coming off this high of the Guy Ritchie's The Covenant came out, and I got a pull quote from it. It's like, oh, that's fun.
Oh, dude, that's badass. And you also got the Eternals told your quote because you said it was epic.
Oh yeah. It's in one of those ads where like they throw a bunch of words at the screen. It's like great, excellent, one of Marvel's best, and it says epic, and it's like, oh, that's the one I, because it says We Live Entertainment under it. So I'm like, oh, that's the one I wrote apparently. It's like
It was awesome. And also, Operation Fortune, y'all. Enjoy it. It's nice and it's breezy and it's cheeky and it's fun. And Guy Ritchie's having a good year.
He's having a good year. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, man. Thank you for talking. I'm going to get you, Sucka. I really appreciate it.
For sure, happy to be here. I'm the main goal of this was that I can say movies, films, and flicks in the proper order. Now that I've been on the show, I'll stop saying movies, flicks, and films. It'll not reverse anymore because I've been here in person, so I can say movies, films, and flicks always.
People call me MMF. People always, yeah, it's cool. Movies, films, and flicks. Just movies, films. Sometimes I kind of think like MFR. Like I hope people don't think I'm saying like MFFer, like mother effer, but whatever. I never thought about that until like yesterday. So it hasn't been an issue because I've been doing this for 13 years.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Okay, go. That was like one of those Jack Handy thoughts from SNL. But hey, thank you for joining me, man. So
for sure.
for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Aaron Newirth, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.